What if the biggest lie my generation told yours wasn't about working harder, but about what we actually paid?
Right now, 43 million Americans owe $1.7 trillion in student loans. My generation keeps saying, I worked my way through college, why can't you?
I'm Robert. I'm 73 years old, and I owe my granddaughter an apology.
Grandpa?
Sit down, Mia. Let me show you something I should have looked at years ago.
Before I tell you what you should do, I need to admit what I didn't understand. Summer of 1972. I worked at Henderson's gas station. 40 hours a week, 12 weeks.
This is my pay stub from June. $2.35 an hour.
$2.35 an hour? Grandpa, that's nothing.
Minimum wage was $1.60. I made above minimum because I'd worked there before. Watch this.
40 hours, 12 weeks, that's 480 hours times $2.35. I earned $1,128 that summer.
My tuition bill for the full year, 2 semesters, $600. Room and board, $800. Books, $150. Total cost, $1,550.
So your summer earnings covered most of it?
I worked 15 hours a week at the campus library during school, another $900. Total earnings for the year, $2,028. I graduated with 0 debt and $1,200 in savings. Now show me yours.
I worked last summer, 35 hours a week. They won't give full time because they'd have to provide benefits. 12 weeks, $15 an hour at Target. That's $6,300 before taxes. After taxes, $5,230.
And your tuition?
Tuition and fees for the year? $22,750. And that's the out-of-state rate because my major wasn't offered back home. Room and board? $14,200. Books and supplies? $1,500. Mandatory health insurance I can't opt out of, $3,200. Total, $41,650 per year.
Your summer earnings cover
About 12% of 1 year. I work 20 hours a week during school at the library, just like you did. That's another $6,000 after taxes. So between summer and school year work, I earn about $11,230, which covers less than a quarter of the cost.
the remaining $31,000?
Loans. Every year. I'm a junior. I already owe $87,000. So when your friends say I should just work harder, like you did,
Let me make sure I understand this. You're working more hours than I did, making more money per hour, and you're drowning in debt while I graduated with savings?
welcome to my generation's reality.
Humor an old man. Let me adjust my 1972 numbers for inflation. My $600 tuition in 1972 would be about $4,400 in today's dollars. My total cost of $1,550 would be roughly $11,400 now. My summer earnings of $1,128 would equal about $8,300 today. Your tuition is $22,750. That's not double mine adjusted for inflation. It's 5 times higher. Your total yearly cost of $41,650 is nearly 4 times what mine would cost in today's dollars.
So when people your age say, I worked my way through college, why can't you? They literally don't understand that it's mathematically impossible now.
Mia, I owe you an apology.
Grandpa, you didn't create this system.
No, but I benefited from it, and I defended it, and I never once looked at the actual numbers. When my friends complain about entitled millennials and student debt, I nodded along. When politicians talked about personal responsibility, I agreed. I never questioned why the system that worked for me stopped working for you. I got a subsidized education. The government, taxpayers, covered 65% of my university's costs. I paid $600 out of pocket because everyone else chipped in. Then my generation voted to cut that funding. States now cover less than 25% of costs. You pay the difference. We got cheap education, built wealth,
bought houses, then pulled the ladder up behind us. And when you couldn't climb a ladder that wasn't there, we called you lazy.
Grandpa,
I'm not done, because here's what really makes me angry at myself. You work 2 jobs, you study full-time, you've never asked us for money, even though I know you're struggling. And I thought you just needed to budget better.
The math doesn't work, Mia. It's not your fault. It's not about budgeting or hard work. The system is rigged. And I'm sorry I didn't see it until you showed me the receipts.
so what do we do about it?
That's not the right question.
What?
What do we do about it assumes we can fix the system quickly. But political change takes decades. You're graduating next year. You don't have decades.
The right question is, the system has failed me. How do I live with that?
That's it? The system failed you? Deal with it? That's not wisdom, Grandpa. That's just giving up.
I'm not saying give up. I'm saying change the question. Because here's what I need you to understand. When I graduated, my degree was my future. It was a guaranteed ticket to the middle class. A promise. Work hard, get educated, succeed. The math supported that promise. For you, the math is broken. You're not starting at zero like I did. You're starting $87,000 in the hole. The promise was a lie.
So what's the point? Why am I even doing this? You graduated with savings. I'm graduating with a life sentence. How do I even live with that? Every time I check my loan balance, I feel sick. I'm 22 and I already feel like I've failed before I even started. My degree isn't freedom. It's an anchor.
That's the real difference, Mia. When I graduated, my degree was my future. For your generation, the math is broken. So you have to change the goal.
Change it to what?
My generation was taught to build our identity on our career, to measure our worth by our salary and our title. Your generation must learn something harder, to build your identity on your resilience.
I don't understand.
Your degree is a tool, but it's not you. The debt is a burden, but it cannot be your identity. Mia, listen to me. This is hard truth. You can't change that $87,000 number, so you have to change every other number in your life. You have to be twice as smart and twice as disciplined as I ever was, just to get to the same starting line. That's unfair. That's enraging. And that's reality. When I graduated, I had breathing room. The space between what I earned and what I needed. That was for nice things, a newer car, vacations, saving for a house. Your generation's breathing room isn't for comfort. It's a weapon against this debt.
I already live in a tiny apartment with 2 roommates. I buy generic everything. I haven't taken a vacation in 3 years. I'm already cutting. What does that even look like?
It means looking at your friend who just bought a new car with a $600 a month payment. You drive your 10-year-old paid-off car and you take that $600 you could have spent and aim it like a fire hose at your smallest loan. You attack them one by one. It means your first apartment isn't the nice one with the pool and the gym. It's the one that costs $400 less per month. And every month, that $400 goes straight to the debt. It means when your coworkers go out for $15 lunches, you pack leftovers and put $50 a week toward the balance. It means saying no to things I never had to say no to. It's a war, Mia. You have to treat it like one. Every dollar you don't spend is ammunition. And I know it's unfair that you have to fight a war I never faced, but that's the reality.
So I weaponize my budget.
You weaponize everything. Your housing choice, your transportation, your entertainment, your side income. Every decision becomes strategic. And Mia, there's something else. When money becomes scarce, everything else becomes valuable. Your skills, your network, your creativity, your willingness to solve problems.
What do you mean?
I learned this during the recessions I survived. The people who made it weren't those who had the most money. They were the ones who could create value without money, who could trade skills, who built communities that helped each other. Your generation's calling it the side hustle. I call it survival economics. You learn skills that people pay for. You build relationships with people who can teach you things. You become valuable beyond just your job title.
Here's what 73 years and multiple financial disasters taught me. The people who survive broken systems aren't those who had the easiest path. They're those who learned resilience when the path disappeared.
Mia, when I graduated with $1,200 in savings, I had a head start. I started on third base. The system is forcing you to start in a dugout in another stadium entirely. This isn't just about debt, it's about compound advantage. I bought a house at 26. You'll be lucky to buy one at 40. I saved for retirement from day one. You're making loan payments instead. Every milestone I reached easily, you have to fight for.
So the handicap is permanent.
The dollar amount might be, but the definition of success doesn't have to be. My generation's mistake was tying our self-worth to our net worth. We measured success in dollars, promotions, houses, cars, status. Your generation's challenge is to find your self-worth despite your net worth. The system has failed you. Do not fail yourself by letting it define you.
So the goal isn't just to get a good job and pay it off.
No, that's survival, not living.
The goal is to build a life that's so rich in other ways, in skills, in community, in creativity, in relationships, that the debt doesn't get to win.
Yes, the debt is there. It will take years, maybe decades, but it's a number. It's not your identity. It's not your worth. It's an obstacle, not a definition.
You started on third base. I'm starting in debt. But the game isn't just about the score. It's about who I become playing it.
That's the wisdom I wish I didn't have to teach you, but I'm grateful you understand it at 22.
And Mia, while you're building your resilience, my generation needs to stop defending the system we benefited from. We need to acknowledge the truth. That starts with me. If you're in my generation, I have a request. Share your actual numbers. What year did you graduate? What was your tuition? What did you earn working? How much did you owe when you graduated? Be honest about the help you had. Did taxpayers subsidize your education like they did mine? Did you benefit from a system that no longer exists? Acknowledge it. Don't defend it.
And if you're in my generation, share something different. Share how you're building your security anyway. One skill you're developing, one community you're part of, one margin choice you've made that's working. Don't just share your debt number. Share your strategy. Share what's working. Let's build a playbook together.
We can't fix what we won't acknowledge, and we can't build what we won't share. I want you to have something.
Grandpa, this is...
$1,200, the exact amount I had in savings when I graduated. It won't solve your problem, but it's a start. It's me putting my money where my apology is.
You don't have to.
I do. Because apologies without action are just words. And I need you to know, your generation shouldn't have to fight this alone.
When the math works, follow it. When the math breaks, follow your character. Build your life on what you can control and never